Okay, so today we're going deep on something a little bit different.
Okay.
The dōjō.
The dōjō? Yeah.
I mean, we all know, right, it's where martial arts happens.
Right.
But have you ever thought about
Yeah.
what makes it more than just a place to kind of, work out?
Sure.
Using some text on traditional Japanese martial arts that you were kind enough to share.
Of course.
We try to, uncover all the cultural
Yeah.
and even philosophical layers that make the dōjō unique.
What I think is really fascinating is that the experience of the dōjō really begins before you even step foot inside or on the mat.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So, just think about that very first action of taking your shoes off at the entrance, right? It's not just about, keeping the place clean, is it? In many cultures, actually, removing your shoes signifies that you're entering a sacred space.
Yeah.
Like a temple or even someone's home.
That's true.
Uh-huh.
That's true. I mean, even outside of religious context, sometimes I feel like
Right.
if you go to someone's house and they ask you to take your shoes off,
It feels different.
it feels like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you're about to get,
We're about to get closer.
closer.
So it's like setting the tone for everything that happens inside.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's about showing respect right from the very beginning.
Respect from the get-go. I like that.
Yeah, and that respect even extends to, the practice of suji.
See
that ritual cleaning of the jujin. It's not just, wiping down the mats and putting things away. It's really about purifying the space, preparing it both mentally and physically.
Purifying the space. I mean, that is so much deeper than just tidying up.
Right.
Is there a symbolic element to that as well?
Oh, absolutely. So it's about, clearing your mind along with the physical space, creating kind of a clean slate,
Yeah.
For learning and for growth.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. It's like you're kind of resetting the space.
Yeah. Resetting.
You're resetting your mind, and that's how you kind of enter into this.
Exactly. And it's interesting, too, when you think about the layout of the dojo itself.
Okay.
Right? So picture yourself, you're walking into a dojo for the first time.
Okay.
You, as a student, you would enter at the lower left corner, and the instructor's position would be up at the upper right.
Okay.
Near the Shomen, which is the front of the space.
So there's a hierarchy there.
Yeah.
In the space itself.
Definitely. The Shomen is considered a kamisa.
Kamisa.
A place of honor. And in a traditional dojos, you'll very often find a Shintō shrine.
Wait, hold on. A shrine?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
In a martial arts space?
Yeah. Sometimes adorned with sculptures or flowers or other artifacts.
That's fascinating. So what's the significance of that?
Well, Shintō is that ancient Japanese religion that emphasizes purity, respect for nature, and connection to the divine. So having a shrine at the Shomen really connects the dōjō to a broader spiritual context.
Okay.
It's kind of reminding everyone present of the values that underpin the training.
Wow. So it's not just about, learning to punch and kick.
Right.
It's about cultivating a mindset.
Exactly.
Almost like a way of life.
Yeah, it's about, adding a layer of meaning and depth to the physical practice.
I like that. So you'll often find other artifacts too, right?
Yes, definitely. So you mentioned kanban before.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are essentially authorizing documents, often displayed as scrolls or certificates.
Okay.
And they demonstrate the lineage of the school's style and serve as proof of the authenticity of the school.
So they're a visual representation of the history of the school and the authority of the school. And you might also see taiko drums.
Oh, yeah.
Which are those big Japanese drums used in ceremonies and festivals, or even samurai armor.
Wow.
Shioroi displayed as a nod to the warrior tradition. It's a whole visual tapestry.
Yeah, and that you often will see a display of the dojo's name and rules, which are called the dōjō-kun.
Jujukun.
Yeah, and these really kind of highlight the code of conduct that's expected within the space.
Yeah, so it's every element in a dōjō is very carefully chosen and placed.
It's intentional.
To convey meaning.
Yes.
And history.
And you'll also notice even just where people sit or stand.
Yeah, you mentioned this earlier.
Is significant.
The senpai and the kohai.
Yeah, so visitors are often seated according to their rank and experience.
Okay.
And the equipment is typically stored neatly on the back wall. And it really reflects the hierarchical structure that's found in traditional martial arts and in Japanese society.
So can you talk a little bit more about the senpai-kohai dynamic? Because I think that's really interesting.
So it's really about, recognizing and respecting the experience of those who came before you.
Yep.
So the senpai, kind of guides and mentors the kohai, while the kohai learns from and shows respect to the senpai.
Yeah.
It's a system of mutual respect and learning.
So it's not about, like, who's stronger or who's
more skilled.
Exactly. It's about where you are in the...
It's about the journey.
In the journey.
And respecting that process.
So I think it's clear that, pulling all this together, that a doji is so much more.
It's so much more.
Than just a gym.
Than just a gym.
Yeah. It's a space that's,
right.
steeped in history and tradition and meaning.
It's a place where the physical and the philosophical intertwine.
Yeah, and it makes me think, like, are there ways that we can apply these principles of the doji
I think so.
to other areas of our lives?
Absolutely.
Can we bring that same sense of respect and mindfulness?
I love that thought.
And intention to our work, to our relationships, even to our own homes.
It's something to think about.
It is something to think about as we step outside of the doji and back into our everyday lives.